Hello everyone, I'm Ozmourn, and I'm back once more with another beautiful game known as Skator Gator 3D. It is a bit different than what I usually show off for y'all. It's more of a platformer type and a skating game at that. And so I think this is a really good run. I think I was really surprised as to how much time I ended up investing into this specific run, what it is, and like how precise the gameplay is. And you know, I definitely think it's a run that is really worth your time, especially because the game is only $5 on Steam. And so I highly recommend checking it out. But I have someone with me. The $5 block, right? But there's someone with me today. If you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Shovel Claus. I'm back again. I didn't think I'd be awake at this time. But yeah, I ran 2 games earlier. I'm here back for this game because I also run this game. This game is, as Ozmourn was saying, only $5 on Steam, so you should go check it out. It's a really bite-sized platformer, pun intended. It is very cute and very fun.
Yes. And I know that we have a beta war for the skin. So which one won? And I know it's Chonky Boy was in the lead, but we'll see if anyone managed to snipe it at the last moment.
Well, let's see here. We're doing one last check on it, and I can safely say that it looks like Chonky Boy has taken this one.
Chonky Boy has in fact taken this one.
You guys are in for a viewing experience, trademark patent pending.
Yeah, right? So Chonky... Okay, so actually, before I enter...
We should just split it.
Yeah, no, I should show you what... Before we do that, though, I need to show you what regular Greenjamin looks like, so you have a sense of scale. We're just going to go into the second... This is what regular Greenjamin looks like. So this is like normal, small. Yes, very small. And this is what... And now we get to see Chonky Boy. We're gonna go to the same level. This is what Chonky Boy looks like. He is very large.
He is so big.
Yes, he is so big.
Him in my palms. He would crush me under his weight.
So the hitbox for Chonky Boy is the exact same, but it's just small Greenjamin in a giant Greenjamin suit. So because of that, if I mess up more than usual, it is because I'm not used to Chonky Boy. I did some practice with him, but it still puts me off. But Shovel Claus, we don't really have time during the run to tell people what this game is about. Do you want to read off what you wrote down for the plot of this game? This is in lore.
Yeah, so this game has a very adorable game manual, you know, like the games all the way back during console times, remember them? On Steam. So we're going to read the prologue from that game manual. Greenjamin Gator finds a present on his front doorstep. It's the most high-tech skateboard Greenjamin has ever seen, allowing him to perform tricks with ease. Who could have sent this gift? After a long day of rad tricks, Greenjamin heads to bed. As part of his nightly routine, Greenjamin collects the deed to the swamp, handed down to him by his father, heads to bed, and falls asleep. But something stirs in the night. Greenjamin awakes to find the deed and his new skateboard to be missing. A quick glance outside reveals the culprit fleeing the scene with the deed. Unable to find his new skateboard, Greenjamin grabs his older, trusty skateboard and sets out into the swamp to get the deed back. The chase ensues and a robotic gator is the thief. Not only that, robots and pollution have plagued the swamp just like in his father's stories. Will Greenjamin be able to save the day? And that's what we're going to find out during this speedrun.
Yeah, alright. Timing is going to begin when I start the first level. Get that deed back. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so you're going to see here, the very first thing that we're going to be doing is rail grinding. So there's going to be a lot of rail grinding in this game, and you're like fixed to this, to like the rails that are present. Like you can't move around, you can only move back and forth between rails, like so. And unfortunately, if you accidentally fall off, because there's no like checkpoints in rail grinding sections, you do have to start like the entire rail grinding section over, which is one of the very few things that are annoying about this game to me, where it's if you mess up on like a rail grinding section, you do have to start the whole rail grinding section all over again.
You were demonstrating. It's fine. Yeah, the way I kind of like to describe it is that you have two modes, and one of them is on foot, and the other is on your skateboard. I think it's kind of on your skateboard. You're doing tricks to speed up. That's what the little turnaround is. And otherwise, you're just swapping between rails and avoiding obstacles and stuff. And that's already the first stage done.
Beautiful. Yeah. Now we're in the second stage. Morning march. Ooh, of course. I keep making that mistake of accidentally letting muscle memory take over and moving the joystick to the left twice instead of like once. And one thing that you're gonna see us do is, of course, dashing a lot on rails, and taking advantage of these boost pads on rails and stuff, like right here. And there's a specific glitch that's coming up. If Shuttleclaws wants to explain teledashing, how that works.
Yeah, so you're gonna see on ground, on foot, these little dash pads, and if we jump on a dash pad and pause at the exact same time, the game kind of builds our speed in the background while we're paused, and that allows us to unpause and get teleported, basically, into basically just a predetermined zone. You can't fling, like, infinitely, because there are certain caps that the game puts on your speed, as far as I understand, and so regardless, that allows us to skip huge chunks of the stage. You're going to see it here at the end of this third stage, Daytime Fog. This one is actually really tricky, so missing it
is really tricky. Like,
you have to pause right as soon as you land. So if you're off just slightly with the timing, it's even harder with Chonky Boy because you can't tell when you're going to land. You're gonna miss it. But you can see we teleported all the way to the end of that grind rail section. God, Chonky Boy is so big. Jesus.
Right. And this is Wait, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, teledashing is very strong in the run. We're gonna use it a lot. There are a lot of big skips that we do.
Yes. It's a lot of big skips in the run. This is a boss level. All the boss levels are exclusively on rails, which means that if you die, you have to start like the whole thing all over again. So we're gonna be like extra careful during boss sections so that we don't have to. Oh no! Wait! Oh, you guys.
Extra careful. That happens. It's unlucky.
Yeah, it's real unlucky.
Rails can actually be really hard to traverse because if you hold the joystick, you'll move instantaneously.
Yeah, exactly like that.
You can also use the D-pad. That might be easier.
Yeah, that might be easier. I'm just so used to using the joystick.
Yeah, I get you. I do that all the time too. It definitely has killed a few runs of mine. So
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
But yeah, for the most part, these boss fights are auto-scrollers, so if we have any messages from our host, this would be a perfect time. We have about 20 seconds in the stage still.
Sure thing. We have a $20 donation from Ian Keith. Flat Friend Friday never ends. It's a pretty nice thing, really. And putting that towards Watch the Turtle races.
Oh yeah, we gotta watch the turtles.
Incentive coming up.
Exactly.
There are cousins in the animal tree here in the Skator game.
Exactly. So right here, we're gonna go into the evening levels. You saw we were in like daytime, but now we're in evening. So as the night progresses, we're gonna get deeper and deeper into catching whoever stole our deed. I'm playing it a little like safer here on these rail sections, just because again, dying in a rail section is really detrimental, especially if you're like grinding for a PB. If you like die in a rail section and when you're grinding in a PB, you might as well just your run's dead. You're like it's over.
Yeah. And I mean, you know about grinding for PBs in this game because you have the world record. So
yes.
You know.
And I'm not done because my world record is 9 minutes and 1 second, and we need to go for the sub 9.
Of course. A world record is a second ahead of the second place, so it's very tight. Speaking of tight, rad things, we have a power-up here in this level, Shocking Ally, aptly titled because we get the Eel Blaster, as it's called in that game manual that we mentioned. The Eel Blaster is really, really simple. It gives you a very nice little force field around you so you don't get hit by enemies, and it also shoots a weapon, or shoots a little bullet at enemies when you swap rails. So you'll see Oz dashing around and get a little zap around him That's what the little force field is. Also, another thing I want to point out real fast at the beginning of Twilight Town is that occasionally you'll see Oz kind of stand still at the start of the stage. That isn't because he's slow or anything. Aw, unlucky. I thought you hit that checkpoint. I was going to be amazed.
Yeah, right? I was going to be amazed.
He doesn't stand still because of he's slow. It's actually because the in-game timer does not start until you leave a little threshold in the stage, and we actually use in-game timing. We just add up all the stage times at the end of each level in order to time this game. And we also include times from pauses, so it's a nice little point of interest for you to just kind of gather yourself and position yourself just a little bit closer to that beginning of the in-game timer, just so you get a few seconds squeezed out for free. I think it's pretty cool. I like IGP strats like that, but I'm also biased.
Yeah, it's definitely cool, and for the purposes of this game, it definitely makes sense for timing like that. Alright, beautiful.
Also, these last two stages have these cute little dev-intended shortcuts in those little tires. In the last stage, we did that too. We jumped across, hit some tires, and in this stage, we do the exact same thing. We're also going to run across these roofs. We're going to do something here called super jumping. We've been doing it throughout the entire run because it's the fastest form of movement. I can't believe we've gone this far without mentioning it. I guess that's my job, considering. But super jumping is a dev-intended movement mechanic. When you dash, you have a small window to hit the jump button, and that allows you to do a super jump. The super jump gives you just a tiny bit of extra height, I believe a little bit of extra speed. So that's very useful in the free running sections that we have throughout the game. But we're back into another boss fight, so auto-scrollers.
Auto-scrollers, yes. We still are with this unnamed assailant here that's still in the deed to our swamp. You can see that a lot of these rails that are like very short rails, you technically could like dash on them, but just for the purposes of marathon fun, it's like very precise to do that, and so like if you mess up, you have to start the whole thing all over again, and so I'm just playing it a little bit safer than I normally would, like during
a lot of
like
those dashes, you literally have to use your coyote time, and it's very specific.
I didn't realize.
Thankfully, there's a checkpoint there, so you're good.
Thankfully, there is a checkpoint there. I actually, that's completely on me. I didn't realize how my health was going, honestly.
Yeah, it's all good.
And this
hit
eel
at the beginning, and I imagine that throughout the whole cycle.
Yeah, I did. The eel also, like, if you use it at the very right time, it'll counteract the attacks from the boss.
From Mr. Boss that we don't know the name of now.
Exactly. Very precise jump there at the beginning of Midnight Mire. We're now in the nighttime levels, and we're going to be introduced to another cool mechanic known as wings. You ever seen a gator with wings? You still won't, because Chonky Boy is too big. But you can see, if you look very closely, the wings are actually clipping out of Chonky Boy's back, because again, Chonky Boy is just Greenjamin with a giant Greenjamin suit.
It's like his mascot suit. It's his fursuit, of course.
Exactly.
I've never considered this. Greenjamin's persona is perfect.
In a gator's fursuit, persona just be another gator. Oh, that's so hilarious to think that someone's persona can just be the animal that they are.
No, it goes deeper. It's himself. That's his persona.
You're right. You're right.
Just you, but more. Exactly. Oh, that's great.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like Oz was saying, the wings are just a little mid-air jump. You can also use them on the ground, technically, but it's pretty rare. But oh god, this platforming looks so much scarier when you're Chonky Boy. Yeah, the wings, or as the game manual calls them, the wild wings, are very useful, particularly in these rail bending sections. They're pretty nice. But
so you're gonna see me purposefully not use. I'm purposely not using the wings because I'm gonna do a teledash right here, and then I'm gonna use the wings to like halt, because when you do that teledash, you get pushed back a little bit. When you like get spawned, and so I just use the wings really quickly to halt all of my momentum and just dash forward and finish the level.
Also, this is the last non-boss fight stage. After this, there's going to be a pretty cool boss fight. So
literally, how did that happen?
I have no idea. But yeah, there have been a lot of like subtle game mechanics we haven't really talked about, but most of them thankfully haven't come up because like the mushrooms, they bounce you. Who would have guessed? The enemies, they die and hurt you.
I forgot that the one-hit KO.
Wait, the truck's a one-hit KO?
The truck is a one-hit KO, yeah.
I didn't know that. So we're all learning something today here. That's great. At the end, in this level, we're going to do a teledash from here, and this is the hardest teledash in the game, and it's the second to last level. It's great. You have to do a very precise super jump here and there, and you just barely missed it.
I need a restart from checkpoint. You need a restart from checkpoint to mess that up. That's really precise. That's like the hardest trick.
That is the hardest trick in the game here, and it's at the very last level. It is like the only teledash that gives some semblance of challenge. The rest of them are relatively nice. But this one is like weirdly hard, because you have to do very precise dashing and jumping. One thing that isn't exactly obvious is that a super jump can actually just eat your wings sometimes, and
yeah, it does. I hate it when that happens.
I hate it so much, but it's okay. The game kind of like sees your coyote time.
Yeah, I figured.
I went that the hard way.
I figured that wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, the game kind of reads your coyote time sometimes from a super jump. As you trying to use your wing, it's kind of annoying, but it happens, and you kind of have to live with it. But we're entering into the final boss fight, the actual final level, where we're going to face off against the one, the only, the person we haven't known the identity of this whole time. We've totally not known. We haven't known. We're going to face off again. Load into the level, Oz, please. Trader Gator.
Trader Gator.
That is the man we've been.
And I'm gonna let you commentate this because I need to focus for this cycle.
Yes. So this boss fight is actually not an auto-scroller. This fight can end as soon as you take out all the health on Trader Gator. Trader Gator has a few invulnerability frames, though, and that jump there, where he can miss your attack and not take damage, but Oz here has done it pretty well so far. He's got to wring out all the damage he can. Time, by the way, is coming up when we finally kill Trader Gator. That last hit is also very precise.
You need to make sure that you jump and you do not hit the dash pad. If you hit the dash pad, he'll jump over the mushroom and like it won't work.
And that's time. Yeah, so that last boss is a very precise 2 cycle, as we call it, because you use 2 eels. So congrats on the run.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Congratulations.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Do you have any want to shout out?
Very short but very sweet. Yeah, go for it.
It is very short. Yeah. So I'd like to shout out all of the devs over at Weather Sweater. Because they're so supportive about the speedrunning community. Mainly because this game was proudly built for speedrunning. And so I highly recommend buying this game. It's $5 on Steam.
$5 on Steam?
Yeah, it's $5 on Steam. And it's also I think it's also on console. What console? I know it's coming to Xbox, but I forgot which console.
It's coming to Xbox. It's already on Switch, I believe. I don't know about PlayStation, but I can check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, this is also on consoles, so go pick it up. It's $5, and it's very fun, very bite-sized. You can finish it in an afternoon, easy peasy.
Exactly, and this game is also like we don't have leaderboard splits, and so it's even across all consoles, so you can play however you'd like. And yeah, I just highly recommend checking it out. Shout out to Shovel Claus for being here and commentating with me, and also for setting up the leaderboards for this game, kind of taking the mantle and all that. And shout outs to Allison8bit, who is the person that is 1 second behind me on the leaderboard, because we are going to be racing this at AGDQ 2024 in January in person. In person, yes. And of course, Claus is going to be on commentary for that as well.
Of course.
And so I highly recommend checking that out, because that's going to be a lot of fun to see. And so yeah,
It's going to be a
that's
sick
all.
race. That's the main thing, is that it's first and second place going to head-to-head. It's going to be very good. I definitely recommend you watch it. I
Yeah.
believe it is Thursday, January 18th.
Yes, it's Thursday, January 18th. Yeah, in the morning, like at 9 a.m. I know.
Yeah, so it's a nice run to wake up, start your day with.
Exactly.
Is going to be awesome. It is seriously going to be so fun. And
For sure.
I mean, maybe we'll see Chonky Boy again. Who knows?
Maybe we'll see Chunky Boy. If not, I can just like at the end of the run just enter Chunky Boy in a level and see it just for a nice joke. But yeah. Thank you again to everyone at Fastest Furs. You can for the folks at home, you can follow me on Twitch. I stream once in a blue moon, and I'm active on Twitter as well. And I'm gonna be again participating in more events coming up in the next few months. So check those out. Be attentive in the speedrunning scene. Aside from that, thank you to everyone at Fastest Furs for accepting me. Once again, they're so welcoming, and I would love to keep submitting to your events so long as you'll have me. And so, yeah, thank you so much. That's all from us.
Goodbye forever, part 2.